The Oval Office, a place where decisions ripple across the world, where every handshake and every signed paper could change history. Now imagine walking through the timeline of every U.S. president and uncovering the landmark achievements that shaped the nation, from the newest leader in 2025 all the way back to the very first president. You're about to witness triumphs, surprises, and moments of sheer audacity that will make you see American history in a whole new way. From crises that tested courage to policies that reshaped everyday life, every president left a mark, whether celebrated or controversial. And some achievements? They're quietly powerful, changing the course of the country while barely making a headline. Let's dive in, starting from the modern era and moving backward through history, uncovering the defining accomplishments of each president. 29. Warren G. Harding, 1921 to 1923. Harding's presidency focused on post-World War I recovery, reducing taxes and national debt, while advocating for a return to normalcy. His efforts promoted economic stability, though his administration was later overshadowed by scandals. 28. Woodrow Wilson, 1913 to 1921. Wilson guided the U.S. through World War I, shaping international diplomacy with his 14 points and founding the League of Nations concept. Domestically, he reformed banking with the Federal Reserve Act and strengthened antitrust laws, leaving a lasting impact on economic policy and global vision. 27. William Howard Taft, 1909 to 1913. Taft's presidency emphasized judicial reform and trust-busting, enforcing antitrust laws more aggressively than his predecessor. Though overshadowed by Roosevelt's charisma, Taft laid groundwork for fairer corporate practices. 26. Theodore Roosevelt, 1901 to 1909. TR, the embodiment of bold action, expanded national parks, regulated big business, and championed progressive reforms. His foreign policy, famously speak softly and carry a big stick, enhanced America's global standing. Roosevelt's energy and vision redefined the presidency as a proactive force. 25. William McKinley, 1897 to 1901. McKinley led the nation through the Spanish-American War, resulting in the acquisition of territories like the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico. His presidency marked the emergence of the U.S. as a global power, with economic growth complementing territorial expansion. 24. Grover Cleveland, second term, 1893 to 1897. Cleveland's second term focused on fiscal conservatism, including opposing inflationary silver policies and maintaining the gold standard. Though unpopular, his commitment to principles over politics left a reputation for integrity. 23. Benjamin Harrison, 1889 to 1893. Harrison's accomplishments include modernizing the Navy and signing the Sherman Antitrust Act, the first federal legislation to curb monopolies. His administration also facilitated admission of several new states, expanding the Union. 22. Grover Cleveland, first term, 1885 to 1889. Cleveland championed civil service reform, battling corruption, and vetoing excessive spending bills. His focus on honesty and efficiency set a standard for executive accountability. 21. Chester A. Arthur, 1881 to 1885. Arthur pushed forward civil service reform with the Pendleton Act, reducing patronage and creating merit-based federal employment. His transformation from a machine politician to reformist president surprised many. 20. James A. Garfield, 1881. Though his presidency was tragically cut short, Garfield advocated for civil service reform and educational advancement. His vision for government integrity left a lasting impression despite his brief term. 19. Rutherford B. Hayes, 1877 to 1881. Hayes oversaw the end of Reconstruction, prioritizing national reconciliation. He reformed the civil service system and worked to stabilize post-Civil War tensions, leaving a legacy of measured leadership. 18. Ulysses S. Grant, 1869 to 1877. Grant, a Civil War hero, focused on Reconstruction and civil rights. enforcing laws to protect African Americans from violent opposition. His administration also worked to stabilize the economy and rebuild national infrastructure. 17. Andrew Johnson, 1865 to 1869. Johnson inherited a fractured nation after Lincoln's assassination. He prioritized restoring Southern states to the Union but struggled with Congress, shaping early Reconstruction policies with a controversial but decisive hand. 16. Abraham Lincoln, 1861 to 1865. Lincoln's presidency is defined by the Civil War and the abolition of slavery through the Emancipation Proclamation. His leadership preserved the Union and set the moral compass for a nation grappling with its identity. Every speech, decision, and action remains a blueprint for courage under pressure. 15. James Buchanan, 1857 to 1861. Buchanan's term was overshadowed by sectional tensions, but he attempted to maintain Union stability, while largely criticized for inaction. His efforts highlighted the challenges of pre-Civil War governance. 14. Franklin Pierce, 1853 to 1857. Pierce focused on expansion and enforcing the Compromise of 1850, though his policies inadvertently increased sectional tensions. His presidency demonstrates the complexities of balancing national growth with emerging divisions. 13. Millard Fillmore, 1850 to 1853. Fillmore signed the Compromise of 1850 into law, aiming to ease tensions between free and slave states. He also opened trade relations with Japan, signaling early American engagement in Asia. 12. Zachary Taylor, 1849 to 1850. Taylor, a war hero, opposed the expansion of slavery into new territories. Though his presidency was brief, his stance on slavery and national unity was significant. 11. James K. Polk, 1845 to 1849. Polk achieved remarkable territorial expansion, including the annexation of Texas, the Oregon Territory, and victories in the Mexican-American War, shaping the map of the modern United States. 10. John Tyler, 1841 to 1845. Tyler annexed Texas and asserted presidential authority in legislative conflicts, establishing precedents for executive power. His firm leadership during contentious times defined his legacy. 9. William Henry Harrison, 1841. Though Harrison's presidency lasted only a month, his election marked the first modern campaign with mass rallies and slogans, influencing the political process for generations. 8. Martin Van Buren, 1837 to 1841. Van Buren navigated the Panic of 1837 and championed the independent treasury system, separating federal funds from private banks, strengthening economic oversight. 7. Andrew Jackson, 1829 to 1837. Jackson reshaped the presidency with populist appeal, advocating for the common man. He signed the Indian Removal Act and battled the National Bank, leaving a complex but transformative legacy. 6. John Quincy Adams, 1825 to 1829. Adams promoted infrastructure projects, scientific advancement, and a vision for national development, including roads, canals, and educational initiatives. 5. James Monroe, 1817 to 1825. Monroe's era is remembered for the Monroe Doctrine, asserting U.S. influence in the Western Hemisphere and promoting national unity in the era of good feelings. 4. James Madison, 1809 to 1817. Madison guided the U.S. through the War of 1812 and helped shape the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, emphasizing governance, defense, and liberty. 3. Thomas Jefferson, 1801 to 1809. Jefferson doubled U.S. territory through the Louisiana Purchase, championed religious freedom, and promoted education and scientific exploration, defining early American expansion and ideals. 2. John Adams, 1797 to 1801. Adams strengthened the fledgling nation's international position, avoided full-scale war with France, and established foundational principles for the executive branch. 1. George Washington, 1789 to 1797. The first president set every precedent imaginable, from forming a cabinet to relinquishing power voluntarily. Washington unified the nation, stabilized finances, and established the presidency as a cornerstone of American democracy, leaving a legacy unmatched in scope or influence. From Washington to Biden, every president left a mark, some obvious, some subtle, but all shaping the America we know today. History isn't just a list of names and dates. It's a series of bold choices, crises faced, and visions pursued. Each president faced unique challenges, yet their accomplishments continue to impact our lives daily. If you've been captivated by this journey through American leadership, make sure you like and subscribe for more deep dives into history, politics, and stories that shape our world.